Welcome to the Soon Podcast.
Welcome back to the Soon Podcast. I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Amandalyn.
And
we are traveling.
And we are still traveling. And we are in Northern California, a little town called Concord, where our parents kind of grew up. Just my mom, actually.
My mom grew up here. We're actually here because we are doing a celebration of life for my mom's childhood best friend, who is also an aunt to us. And so, although it's been very emotional, it's also been a beautiful trip getting to see all of our family and everywhere that my mom grew up. And it's just been nice getting to be together. So,
yeah, we're here. We just got to leave Tahoe, and so it's just been such a positive trip overall.
Yes.
But we are tired, and we
are tired girlies.
Skitter-scattering Airbnbs like nobody's business.
We had quite the situation. First, let's just tell them a little bit about what's going on here. Alyssa was very excited to do a bed podcast because we are traveling girlies.
And I'm tired.
She wanted to lay down. There's
not
also
pregnant, just tired.
Not pregnant, just tired. There's also no good natural lighting in this vicinity unless we went outside. And our last podcast was quite bad on the audio, even though we weren't outside.
We're very sorry. We tested the audio.
We tried our absolute best.
So long to set up, but what can you do? I mean, if we do another podcast again with our husbands or somebody else, we will have it figured out down pat.
But we just did not.
Because we thought we might, but we didn't. So
you live and you learn. But thanks for listening. Tuning in. We love you all so much.
And now this time you get a lovely off-centered photo above our heads.
Look at that.
We are all about the vibes here.
But to be honest, the Airbnb that we are at right now is so much better than what we were at. So we're in a smaller town. It's called Concord. That's where my mom grew up. And that's where we're staying for this weekend. So the Airbnb options are very limited. We also have one of our dogs with us, so they're even more limited.
And
we were duped technically my mom was duped into the Airbnb that we were at last night. And
we get there at night, so we're pretty tired.
We drove from Tahoe to Napa. From Napa to Concord. So it was a long day of driving. And so once we got to our Airbnb, we all walked in and we were not loving the vibes.
Driving and drinking.
What?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Not drinking and driving.
What?
But it was a long day in Napa of
were drinking. We were not driving. My husband drove us because he doesn't like wine. Anyways, we were drinking. We were not driving.
No.
I don't know where that came from. My husband drove us because he does not drink wine. So it was a long day. So once we got there, we realized we didn't love the vibes.
I don't know. It seemed like everything was really, really old, and then they just took a giant paintbrush and painted white over it.
But didn't actually clean anything.
And then they hung every picture like 1 inch from the ceiling.
So everything was like where this picture is now. It was like,
wait, it started like above our heads, every photo.
That's fine. I don't blame them for having bad design taste.
Tell them your tip.
I'm going to give them the tips.
Oh,
in a minute. That's like my it really inspired me for my discussion of the day.
Okay.
But so we will get into that, but we haven't even gotten to the worst part.
Obviously we could live with. It also reeked of bacon. And it was like
my
9 p.m.
Like he doesn't eat pork.
And so
he was like,
it was a little upsetting.
So upset. But so all of that. And then we all were like, you know what? We're only here for 2 nights. We're just going to suck it up. It's not a big deal. Like it's fine. No. So this morning I wake up and I'm like, okay, that was not that bad. I could do this for one more night. It's fine. I look down because I always make the bed as soon as I get up. I just like to make my bed. Some people could learn from that. Anyways, I look down and I see a tag on my sheets. And I'm like, oh, that's odd because it was a paper tag. And I'm like, okay, well, that's weird because if these sheets had ever been washed, this paper tag would not have made it through a washer. And then I
price tag.
It was a price tag, like a paper price tag, like one that you shoot like with the little price gun. And then I look even closer and I see that it is from the Goodwill bins. So it's not just that they went and bought sheets from Target or wherever and they didn't wash them. They put them directly on the bed. They bought them from not Goodwill, but the Goodwill bins. And then they did not wash them.
These have been rummaged through like
and I
nobody's business.
And I love the Goodwill bins. Okay. I'm a Goodwill bin stan, but I would never buy sheets from the Goodwill bins and then not wash them and then put guests in them. Like, I was so distraught this morning.
Amanda was upset. Maybe a tad overboard.
Alyssa Rose, I am not even joking when I was saying, like, I thought there was no way that I wasn't going to have bed bugs. Like, I was like, these, you don't know where they've been. They went from someone's house because that's how Goodwill works.
Presumably.
You know, someone donated them.
Anywhere.
It could have been anything, but let's just presume that it went from some person's house unwashed because Goodwill does not wash their products. We looked it up just to be safe. And then it went to the Goodwill bins where people literally rummage through bins.
And it rubs against God knows
anything,
what other shit.
Shoes. It could have been anything.
Donated.
And so I was very distraught this morning, to say the least. I'm honestly surprised that Omar was not as distraught as me because he is like such a clean freak. And he was like, oh, okay.
And then the Airbnb host was like, no, we washed those sheets. And we were like, the tag.
I was like, there is a paper tag on this.
That is in pristine condition.
There's no way that this went through a washing machine and a dryer. And it's like, what are these Goodwill tags made of? Steel? Like, there's no way. So anyways, we worked it out with Airbnb, which we're not complainers. Like, we'll complain to each other, but we usually are always like, okay, that sucked. We'll just, like, I was just going to buy new sheets. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, I just can't be here. Like, I don't know if any of this is clean.
Or you were like, we need to wash every single thing in the house.
And then I got nervous. I was like, is anyone's sheets clean? Like, this just, and then I was like, we have to get out of here. So here we are. To say, we're in a new Airbnb, and this one is so cute, so sweet. It's perfect. Clean. It's cozy. We love, and the host is like such a doll and a half. So we're happy to be here. And you know what? Like, now we've got our rosé. We're sitting in bed, and things are much better.
Yes. God, here we are. It's been
a rough 24 hours.
Holy cannoli. But we have the services tomorrow, and then we are finally going home. It's been a week and a half for myself.
Alyssa, stop. It's been a beautiful trip, but a long trip, and we're ready to head home tomorrow.
Yeah. So, what are you talking about today, sis?
Well,
don't get into it. Just give the gist, and then I'll give my gist.
I think I'm gonna go first.
I know, but don't you think we should tell people like a little intro?
Sure. Okay. Well, I think after the Airbnb that we were at yesterday, I was feeling a little inspired to give my basic design red flags. So today I'm going to be talking about my 3 biggest basic red flags when it comes to designing your home. And I feel like they're all like easy ones that if you are doing these right now, it's an easy fix. If you're not doing them, but you were thinking of doing them, please don't. And it's just going to help everyone out.
Yes. And it's very easy to not know Airbnb tips or design tips. It's very easy to why would people know these things? So
I agree. And there are some things too where it's like you look at it and you're like, oh, that looks good, but it could look better.
Yeah.
And it's not the easiest way. Yeah. So that's what I'm discussing today. What are you discussing today?
Today, I am talking about one of my favorite things to go over with clients, which is minerals.
Ooh, who doesn't love a mineral?
I know. So we're going to go over that, which is so exciting.
That is exciting.
I've been dying to talk about it.
So, I'm going to kick us off today, and we are going to be talking about the 3 design red flags that I think hold you back from making your house feel like an elevated, best version of a home.
Let's hear it.
So, number 1, I feel like this is one that a lot of people know, but I thought that and then I mentioned it to my husband and he was like, "Oh." And I was like, "Oh."
Oh.
So, this is my number 1 and it is having matching furniture sets. I feel like
These are no-nos, by the way.
these are no. So these are my design red flags, things that I personally don't think that you should be doing in your home because I feel like it really holds you back from making your home feel like it has character and it feels like yourself. So these are my 3 design red flags, meaning 3 basic rules or guidelines that I think that you can easily avoid. And by avoiding them, it will simply make your house feel like it has more character, instantly make it feel more elevated, and hopefully make it feel a little bit more like you.
Love it.
Thanks. So, my number 1 is no matching furniture sets. So, a matching furniture set would be, well, this is a great example of a non matching furniture set. So, we have the nightstands and then the
That are
bed is
wood.
different. Yes, exactly. So, if you walk into any big box store, you will see, if you go into Ashley Home,
I was thinking Ashley Home too.
were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a good example. You'll walk in and you'll see the wood bed with the 2 wood nightstands with the little wood bench at
And
the
all the
end,
same
and they're all the
exact.
same finish.
Yes.
We're not doing that anymore, okay?
Ever.
We are not doing that. We are so far above it, and I know that everyone thinks, "Well, it matches, so it'll look good." No, it actually looks worse. It looks like you just walked into a big box retail store and not a home.
Mm.
And I feel like that's such a simple and easy switch up,
Mhm.
So we're going to stop doing the matching furniture sets. Break it up. Break it up. If you have a matching furniture set, break up with it. Okay. We're switching them out.
I agree.
You agree? Do
Oh,
you have any
yeah.
matching furniture sets in your home?
Oh, in my home? No, no, no. But I
Okay.
think it's, I mean, I don't know if a lot of women do this. I feel like a lot of guys,
I feel like it is a
they're
guy
like, ooh,
thing. They're
this
like,
looks
oh my
so
gosh,
good
it all
together.
matches.
They're like, wait, you
No.
want to get different
They're like,
nightstands?
I don't understand. No,
I'm like,
we're not doing that
ooh,
anymore.
ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
So that is rule number 1. By switching them out, it will literally just make your house feel like a home. I'm not even kidding.
Night and day.
Night and day. Okay. Rule number 1. Simple, right?
Yes.
Pretty simple. Okay. Number 2, we are being neglectful of our curtains.
Mm,
Okay? So
mm.
there are a couple of different bullets to this one, and I'm very very passionate about curtains
I
and window
struggle with
treatments.
curtains.
I think literally every window should have a curtain. No, I really just like the way that they make your house feel more layered and instantly add character to like such a simple
Mm,
space. And I feel like people see a window and they're like, I don't want to cover that. I want to see the view. Well, you don't have to cover that.
yeah.
Okay. There are so many different ways to do it. There's like the Roman shades where it's like they drape on the top. I just like a simple curtain with a little tie back. I don't ask for much, but I'm thinking that if you have a window, there should be a treatment on it, okay? Add a little curtain, add a shade, and I promise it's just going to make it look so much more elegant.
I want you to do a whole spiel on curtains. Do you want to do
I
that
know.
today or another time?
Well, I'm doing a little, what do you want? Like, you want me to talk about the height and
Yes, there's heights, there's different types of curtains,
there's like
there's
the grommets that you
grommets.
shouldn't use, the types of curtains you should use, where you should hang your curtains on your window to make it feel more elevated. So maybe I will. Maybe I'll save my curtain spiel for the next time, but just I will say my red flag for the purpose of this conversation today is to stop neglecting your curtains altogether and give your windows the treatment that they deserve. Your windows and your doors, depending on what kind of doors they are. But
Yes, and a good hack is to go on TikTok and look up how to style curtains.
yes, well, we'll save that for next week. I will do an in-depth curtain talk and then you guys can
Nice.
see like my expectations. my personal expectations of what a curtain should look like, and I can post some examples on our social media for you guys. Okay,
That's nice.
so that's number 2. Number 3, and this one might tick some people off, but I'm going to say it with my chest.
What? Tick some people off.
Okay, we need to stop buying mass-produced artwork.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I know people are going to make you have a picture in your house from Home Goods. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Keep your Home Goods pictures, keep your Target pictures, but mix them in
Mhm.
with pictures that actually have personality. And I feel like people get scared with artwork because it can get so expensive, but you can really find affordable artwork if you actually hunt for it. 1, Facebook Marketplace. 2, Goodwill always has like very, very good art pieces that people just
Really?
get rid of. I mean, I feel like I find a lot there, but it depends on your Goodwill probably. I also think that if you go to like a local farmer's market, there's oftentimes people who are making products and they're not always that expensive. You can
Yeah.
also get
Local.
yeah, you can also get local. You can get prints of people's actual pieces, a lot of times on Etsy, and then you can frame them yourself. You can even frame your own photos. Like I
Yeah.
think even just having a gallery wall with like little prints of your own that you love. One time I took a bunch of I ripped out pages from a book and I framed them to make a gallery wall, and
So cute.
it was so easy. I already had the book. I got it from Goodwill. It wasn't even open, so no one was looking at it. And I just think that mixing in artwork that's not mass produced that you can find anywhere with pieces that actually feel like you and feel special, just they'll instantly add so much character into your space and it'll just make people take a second look, you know?
I love that.
Thank you. Well, those are my 3 design red flags that I thought would be like a nice, approachable walk into it, you know? So if you're doing any of that right now, let's just look at what we have going on and see if there's any way that we can easily adjust it, easily fix it, and just make your house feel like a home. Your house should feel like you know, and you want it to feel like its best self at all times. So
I feel like estate sales are so great
I
for
know.
getting
I guess I didn't even mention that for estate sales, but
really good nightstands,
yes.
like heavy duty. Is that a
Is
real
that on your
rooster?
phone?
There's a rooster.
That's a real rooster?
You
Oh my God,
guys,
we're on a farm.
there is a real rooster outside squawking.
We may actually have more issues with this Airbnb.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, that's a good one. Estate sales are a great place. Garage sales. Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of places get rid of furniture and art for a really good price point.
Yeah,
So
I do.
just gotta hunt for it.
I struggle with the artwork too because at first, I was like, oh, anti, mass produce art. But then we went to like a vintage market and it had like many booths. And then Paul was going ham on every single vintage art. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't
And
want
if you're
us
at
to
a
look.
vintage market, it can often get very expensive too.
Yeah, but he was about to make our house into a museum. And
I
I'm like,
know.
we need a little bit more, a little modern art in here. Not even modern, just like something relevant.
Just a little less vintage. Okay, I see that.
So it's really hard. And I do think I love the new trends with the frame outlines.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
doing like striped, what are those called?
Like, and
A mat.
it's a mat. So
Yes.
doing a patterned mat, I think is really fun. To if you hear this rooster, like it is not an alarm, it is not a drill. There's a real life rooster crowing, cawing,
I don't know. I said squawking.
squawking. He's out there and he is not afraid to show it. So I do agree. I think that having like a playful mat. I also think that if you find a print that you like, which I feel like this happens a lot when you go to estate sales or yard sales, you might find a print that you love, but you hate the frame.
Or the
So,
frame really just.
or the frame makes it feel really old. You know, I think that you can easily find a different frame and swap it out.
I haven't talked to you about this yet, but I also have been seeing a lot of TikToks about like do DIY art
Oh,
that I'm loving.
I just feel like every time we've tried to do DIY art, it doesn't
You're right.
turn out the
You're right.
same, but that's just us. So those are my 3 design red flags. And if you have any questions, send us a message and we will help you out. We love you.
Oh my gosh, I have one more.
What?
Put your photos and your art at eye level.
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like this could be another one that we just go so far into, but really all of your artwork should be at eye level. If you put it up too high, it just starts to look like you're looking at the ceiling. And if
And
you
it's
put it
not
too low,
right.
it just looks psychotic. So just look at you. If you have a spouse, look at them and see where the eye level is and put it like somewhere in between.
Yeah, if
And
you're
just
4 feet tall, maybe.
yeah, if you're 4 feet tall, maybe base it on like the average person's height. So that way when you have guests, it's not like funky for them.
Chat GPT it, people.
I based a lot of our art. I'm not that short. I'm tall. I'm 5'7". I'm 5'7".
Tall.
I'm not like short anyways, but I put them all like my height, and then my husband is 6'2", and so he always thinks that ours is like
Yeah, I think you guys need to.
I think I put mine too low, so I do need to raise it. But so, take the average height of your
household.
Yeah, and put it there.
That's a good one. Well, I am super excited to talk about what I have to talk about today, which is minerals. And I feel like I've been on the mineral train for
a long time,
over a year. So still newer. But the way that they've impacted my clients, when clients start paying attention to their mineral levels, I'm like shook. I'm like, every single person needs to know about this.
Okay.
So, I mean, what do you know about minerals?
I don't know a thing.
Really?
I don't I couldn't even tell you what
I'm about to talk
mineral what a mineral is to discuss.
Okay.
Like salt.
Yes.
Salt, a mineral.
Yes.
There you go. Woo! Chemistry. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Good job. Yeah. So whenever.
And Lord knows I love my salt.
Yes. It's true. So minerals nowadays, I mean, I feel like a lot of people think about LMNT, that mineral brand.
Okay.
What's another one? There's that other one that people love.
Mineral water?
Liquid IV.
Oh, is liquid IV a mineral water?
Technically.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people started getting into the mineral realm for post hangovers when you're sweating. Think of like Gatorade. And I started getting into it when I started learning about functional health and just how depleted we are. So nowadays, with farming practices and our water systems, whatnot, we are not getting the minerals that we used to get. There are some minerals that you can only get from the soil, like selenium. And so, just with all of the ways that we have depleted our soil, we are not getting our minerals nowadays. And so, it's really important to look into it. And I think that that could be a big contributor to why a lot of people are feeling so low in energy, fatigued, brain fog. I mean, you got to check your thyroid, you got to check your gut health and your diet and your sleep. But this one is also another great way that you can make yourself feel better. It's really awesome. So,
spill the tea.
I will spill the tea.
Spill the minerals.
Yes. So minerals are mainly involved in enzymatic processes, things like magnesium that is involved in 300 enzymatic processes in the body. Sodium and potassium are involved in energy and hydration and just literally, I love sodium and potassium. And then we often think about calcium and iron, copper, and zinc. There's so many, but those are like the main focus ones that I work with my clients. So what we do is we look at hair tissue mineral analysis because your blood minerals, they're all over the place. It just depends on exactly what you ate that day, how hydrated you've been, what day in your cycle, blah blah blah. Hair tissue mineral analysis looks at the past 3 months. So your hair, obviously, it just keeps growing out. And so you can get a snapshot of basically like the last 3 months of minerals.
Oh my God.
Yes. And so it's really cool.
Your hair, it holds all of your secrets.
It holds all the secrets. Yes. And it was a little woo woo to me at first. I was like, okay, we're just, looking at problems like to make problems. And then once I started working with clients, I'm like, they are feeling so much better just from working on their minerals. It is crazy. So I just really wanted to talk about it and bring it to everyone's attention. Another reason why I love to look at minerals is because we get a snapshot into your adrenals, your thyroid function, and your metabolism. So it can really tell us what's going on in your body. It also shows so much about your stress. And that's one of the main things that drives the minerals down. So we are just going through all of our minerals because you're incredibly stressed. Also, things like hormonal birth control, antacids, so Pepto Bismol and Tums and all of that, and diuretics. So a lot of people are on certain medications that are causing them to lose a lot of their sodium and potassium or making them pee all the time. And so obviously you're losing those minerals. And so it's really important to look into this. So what I would start focusing on is number one, go get an HTMA test done by a practitioner. If you're feeling really fatigued, low energy, if you're having any issue, honestly, you could probably trace it back to certain minerals as well if you've already addressed your diet and your thyroid and, the main stressors. And you're just like, if you have this low level fatigue, whatnot, this is a great way to approach it. And then definitely go from there. If you don't want to do that and you just want a quick fix, then one of my favorite things to do is getting your minerals through your food. So, one of the number one minerals that we are most depleted in is potassium. And yes, you can get it through bananas and it's in a couple different other foods, but the amount of potassium that we actually need every single day is incredibly hard to get through food. Like
Interesting.
incredibly. I'm trying to think like how many bananas you would have to eat. And so usually we recommend drinking coconut water every single day
You do love
because
coconut water.
yes,
She's a big coconut water
every
stan.
day. It's loaded with potassium. And then I also use hydration through things like LMNT. I use something called pickleball, and it's an electrolyte powder that has tons of potassium in it. And so that's what I do. I also recommend people putting sea salt, and I mean real sea salt, not like the stripped table salt, but real sea salt that has minerals in it, and putting that in your water every single day. That way, you're actually getting hydrated, you're getting your minerals in. I love that technique. I think it's amazing. There's a lot of things like adrenal powders nowadays. There is a great gal and brand that made a mineral powder called Minerals and Chill. So that's
Ooh,
really
that's cute.
good. Yeah, and there's so many fun ones. So they all have different levels of sodium, potassium, some have magnesium, some have calcium. And so that's kind of why I like people to get it tested, because sometimes you might actually have too much of a certain mineral and you don't want to be getting a lot more of that in every single day. But we always focus on balancing the first four minerals on your HTMA. So calcium, sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Those are the main ones that you want to get balanced out. And then you can look into other minerals as well, like copper and zinc and what selenium. So there's so many great techniques that you can do it, but you can get your minerals through food, you can get it through hydration, and that is my favorite thing to do every single day without fail. And I just feel like I feel so much more energized, more alert. I have like more
You do
focus.
always have it in your water because I'll take a sip of her water and I'll make, ah.
Yes. Some of them are salty.
They are. And I know that I need to be drinking more. And you've told me this a million times because when I go to work, I will drink out of our fridge water. And it's like regular fridge water in Arizona, but I don't think that it's giving me like any sort of what I need. You would know what I'm
It's
saying.
filtered too much.
Yeah, maybe it's filtered too much because I drink, and I'm not even kidding, a full Stanley cup. I go through probably 7 of them in a
Yeah.
work day,
I think
and I'm always thirsty.
you need to put sea salt in there.
I know. I think that that's what it is because I think that it literally just like it's like not doing
Yeah.
anything to me, so I still feel thirsty.
Mhm.
So I know that I know that I need to do that. I've worked there for 6 years and I have still never done that for myself,
Wow.
but I will one day.
No, that's
I
great.
will, you know what? I will this month and I'll tell you guys next month if it actually helps and if I drink less Stanleys.
Yeah, there are these little droplets. They're called trace minerals and they're just drops. And it's a dropper and you put a couple drops in your water.
Mm-hmm.
And those are really powerful. They're great too. It's not a powder. They don't have stevia. They're just drops. There's also a guy that came up with getting his minerals from seawater because especially in this one certain region and they're called Quinton minerals and they're actually glass vials filled with this seawater.
Cute.
So I know it actually is very chic.
Yeah.
So his are extremely powerful as well. And he's been on this, hydration train for a long time. He thinks he's a little kooky, a little quacky, but I was very inspired by listening to him and just the power of seawater. So, if you get something called concentrates minerals, those are actually from Great Salt Lake from Utah.
From the Great Salt Lake, not the Salt Lake Sea.
Yes. So, I mean, they're all sourced from different places. And I just think that it's really important that women get their minerals in and men, if you're at men and women, but if you're exercising a lot as well and you're sweating, if you're using the sauna, you 100% are dehydrating yourself and you need to get your minerals in and water is not going to cut it.
She does say that because
Yeah.
I love hot yoga and hot Pilates and the sauna, just all the hotness. And she's like, "You are literally not doing anything good for your body right now. Like, I'm just sweating it all out, but
I
it
think
always makes
that's
me feel
fine,
good."
but you have to replete after, or
Mhm.
you're just depleting and depleting. So that is my favorite thing to incorporate with my clients. I love looking at hair tissue mineral analyses. So if anyone, wants questions about that, I work for Mad Healthy. We do HTMAs and they're awesome. So
Yeah.
if you go and get one, make sure you get it tested and analyzed by a practitioner who specializes in HTMA. It is extremely complicated to review these tests because they're not just measuring, oh, you have this much magnesium and this much salt. It also looks at the ratios of salt to, potassium. And what does that mean? And how can you balance these out? And if you have high magnesium, that actually means that your magnesium is just coming out through your hair and you're not absorbing it. So it's technically a magnesium loss.
Freaky.
Yeah, so you really need to go through someone who's been trained for hair tissue mineral analyses. But in general, everyone should be adding sea salt to their water. If you go to the hospital, chances are they will give you an IV, and that
Okay.
contains salt, potassium. A lot of them will give you magnesium. I mean, this is
I've always
just,
wondered what was in those things.
yeah. I mean, what do they call them?
A drip.
I know. But what are they called in the IV? Our brains are not working today.
Mine is working. I don't work in the health field. I don't need to know what's in it.
They give you saline, which is salt water.
Oh,
So, I mean,
the more you know.
yeah. And there's a lot of information coming out now about salt and cholesterol and blood pressure, and everyone's very concerned about that. And it's turning out that we actually just need to be consuming good salt and not just this terrible table salt that we've been eating.
You should recommend some.
Yes, I
We'll
love
do a post about salt.
Redmond's, Jacobson's. There's so many good ones. So definitely we'll be doing that. Sea salt is also a good one, like pink Himalayan and whatnot.
Mhm.
But gray salt,
Never
very
even heard
good.
of it.
Yes. And getting your potassium in, you guys look up on ChatGPT, show me a meal plan where I can incorporate potassium, magnesium, and salt and sodium in my diet and how much food I should be eating to get in my minerals and just see because you got to be eating more fresh fruits and veggies and really good grass-fed meats. Those are all going to really help you out and help your minerals.
Can you tell him, sis? Okay, so just to clarify, I want to know how can I avoid depleting my minerals?
So, making sure you're managing your stress. That's a
Mm,
big one, especially for sodium and potassium.
okay.
And stop eating processed foods. That's really not going to help nourish your body.
Dagnabbit.
And overtraining without remineralizing your body. Those
Okay.
are my main tips.
Love it.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Well, get your minerals in. We will be posting. I think Alyssa will be doing a post on minerals and a little bit more about that at a snapshot. And then we'll also be posting your salts that you should be eating, because Alyssa did. She turned our entire family onto a new salt, and I swear it changed our life because
Wow.
no, really, because I used to dump salt on stuff, and I think that we were just using the wrong salt, because now all I need is just a little bit and it tastes so much better.
Mhm.
And so we'll be posting our salts. Maybe we'll link them.
Yeah.
And then I will be, what am I doing?
Posting your 3
I'll
tips.
do a quick 3 red flags of designs. That way you can see that at a snapshot. And then we will be ready to go for next week.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk soon.